Hey friend, welcome back. Today we are doing some housekeeping in my bullet journal. And I do this periodically. I go through my pages and I find anything that I think is unfinished or maybe needs a little bit more joy to be sprinkled into it. As you know, I use my journal as both a planner and kind of like a creative outlet slash coping tool. It's really beneficial for my mental health on many levels. So it's important for me to have pages that make me want to interact with them. If my pages are attractive to me, then I want to work in my journal more. And wanting to work in my journal more then, of course, brings me to my to-do lists and my habit tracker. And in a way, it just kind of tricks me into doing the things that I'm supposed to do. So that's kind of like the secret behind me having somewhat of a heavily illustrated bullet journal. But every now and again, I either start something that I don't get a chance to finish due to lack of time, or more often, I have pages where I have made some errors that quite frankly annoy me. I don't think that you should really feel that you have to fix every mistake that you make in your journal. Mistakes are part of the process, but I do believe in the idea that if something doesn't bring you joy, you should do whatever you can so that it does. And if that means that you have to repair something or get rid of something, you do what you gotta do. So as you can see, I've put some page flags on the pages that I want to go back to and see what we can do to them. So let's do a flip through of those pages so that you can see. This is my word of the year. This was actually last year. So this bullet journal started in 2021 and my new word for 2022 is something different. Initially I was okay with having it be this plain, but now I think I want to kind of zhuzh it up and add a little bit more interest to it. So that's going to be one of the pages that we're going to work on. This spread, I'm not sure what I would be doing it. I think that's going to have like some journaling here for the most part, and then maybe just add some color to the background. This is a gratitude spread that I did not fill, and I've been watching a lot of James Burke videos lately, and he's got this series called A Page in 10, which is brilliant. I will link it in my description box. I think it's a series that anyone who's interested in drawing and only has 10 minutes to spare, you should watch it. He takes you step by step on how to do all of his illustrations. So these were inspired by one of the videos on that playlist. And so I'm just gonna use that to kind of cover these sheets. And I guess the main goal of that playlist is not only to create something in 10 minutes, but he fills journal pages that are either incomplete or I don't know, there's something in the background that he wants to cover, whatever the case may be. And so, yeah, it was just perfect for my situation. This spread, I'm just going to be showing you how sometimes when I make a mistake in my spreads, all I do is I attach the two pages together. But this is a great way to cover something up without removing a page. So that's what we're going to be doing to that one. And the reason why I'm covering this gratitude page is because during the month of December, I did a gratitude page, and then I did a Dear Santa letter, which is supposed to be like a thank you letter for all the things that I already have, which is gratitude. So I think that probably I should have just not done a gratitude page and just considered this a gratitude page, because it is. So that's why we're covering that one. For this one, I just did a spread in December and I left this empty thinking that I would come back to do some sort of quote or illustration, kind of like this one. Actually, this one was inspired by Anna. Anna did basically this exact illustration in her journal. I thought it was so cute, so I did one in mine too. But in the month of December, I think that's kind of what I was doing. I was doing like my weekly Alastair plans or to-do list, and then like one illustration on the side. And I guess that week I thought that I would come back and do that illustration, and I didn't. So we're just going to do something really simple there to cover that up. And this, we're going to cover this because I really thought that my word of the year was going to be intentional, but instead of the word intentional, I did change my mind. It's the second year in a row that I've changed my mind, and we are allowed to change our minds, guys. I've decided that the word that fits what I want to get out of this year is the word push, because I'm trying to push myself out of my comfort zone and out of old habits. So that's what's going to be our word. So we're going to cover this and then add the actual new word. And then I've got this page, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but there have been times where I've done like a weekly on this side and a weekly on this side. It's not like I'm against it. I just prefer to have a weekly with an illustration next to it. It's just for me. It's just my own, like, it makes me happy to see something next to the weekly to-do list. So the next thing is this spread that I ended up doing. It's not bringing me joy, guys. I don't like it. I just don't like the way that it looks. I just think it's like bleh. I think I want to get rid of this spread somehow. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna speed through the process for your sanity, and then we'll do a flip through of what happened when we're done. done. So let's have a flip through of what we ended up with. So the first page that we have is my word of the year for last year. And I just decided to add some leaves, just a bunch of random leaves. I actually really do enjoy drawing like petals and leaves. It's something that's kind of like meditative and mindless and mindful, come to think of it. For the Halloween spread, I did go ahead and add some journaling, and then I just thought to make it simple for myself, I would just highlight every other line, and I think that's fine. I'm okay with how that turned out. The next one was that gratitude spread that I wanted to give the James Burke treatment to, and I think it turned out pretty cute. I try not to force myself to create when I'm not in the mood to create, or when I'm indecisive about something. And I couldn't really decide whether I wanted to color this background or if I felt like coloring this background. So for now, I just left it blank. In the past, I have forced myself to do things or have forced myself to choose and then ended up regretting it. So my advice to you would be, if you ever feel like you're not sure about something, when you're not sure, the answer is no, or just wait until you feel sure about it. So yeah, so we're gonna leave that one there. I think it looks cute anyway. And this one is actually, you won't be able to see it because these are the gratitude pages, that extra gratitude spread that I had, that I just stuck them together. So that is that. And then we have this spread that had the empty page, and I just added some layers that I got from a magazine. I just cut out this pattern background, this pink background, and then cut out a quote and layered them all together onto this page, and it looks really nice. It's clean and simple, and it was super easy. Anytime you're creating bullet journal spreads, don't ever feel like you can't put some creativity into your pages if you'd like to. Don't ever feel like you can't add some interest to your pages because you don't know how to draw or because you don't want to draw or paint. Magazines are a very cool thing to be using in your pages. And this one was me changing my word of the year. If you remember, it said intentional. Yeah. And so I just covered it up with some paper that I printed from Pinterest. I just looked up like, what did I look up? I looked up color palette, like aesthetic color palette or something like that. And it will give you tons of options. And then I just printed it. I kept it 2022, even though it doesn't really match, but you know, it's fine. And then I just hand lettered the word push. I didn't show you this one before because I didn't mark that page, so I didn't even notice that it was in there, but I had an envelope that was holding this spot for some private journaling. I've used private journaling in my journals for years now, but typically I create the envelope, I seal it, and then I just add a page with my journaling, a page or two, and then I can seal it, and then I don't have to look at that journaling. I do it for the sake of privacy, because I don't really hide my journals in my house. I don't really think anybody's gonna look at it, but on the off chance one of my kids are going through my journal to look at some of my drawings and stuff, which happens, it makes me feel better to know that they're not going to accidentally read something that they won't understand. Do you know what I mean? They're just kids. Then we have this page, which was blank, and again I just printed something cool. I just found like something cool on Pinterest that looked, you know, interesting and fun, and that kind of matched the color marker that I used on the side, and that worked out really easily. And then this one was probably my favorite one that I did. I had I forgot what was here. Oh, this is where that pen test for, what are they called, Oh, I was testing the Le Pen Flex, and I just didn't like the way the pages turned out. I wanted to cover them, so I printed these pages, but then I thought, well, it would be cool to just play around and draw some girls. So that's it, guys. I'm just gonna take off these flags and we are done with our bullet journal housekeeping. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like it if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.